In this video, I am going to explain in detail how to become financially independent. The steps are simple, but they are not easy. There is a huge mindset shift that you'll have to go through for a long period of time. You do not have to work till 60. That age was decided by industries who knew that the life expectancy was still 60. So they wanted you to work till you die. So before you begin this journey, ask yourself, what is this freedom worth to you and why you want to do it? Here are a few reasons that can help you answer this question. You want to have a safety net in case you lose the ability to work. You want to leave some money for your kids in case you die unexpectedly. Or you've always wanted to start that business but never had the financial freedom to do so. Once you achieve financial freedom, work may become optional, and that will reflect in the quality of the work that you're doing today. Only when you know why you want to embark on this journey will you be able to make these big sacrifices and changes in your life. So if you're ready, let's go. Let's visualize this plan. How are you going to get there and how much money you will personally need to be financially free? Okay, in order to understand how much money you'll need to be financially free, let's quickly take a look at this compound interest calculator. Here I'm on NerdWallet. Let's say you can contribute $2,000 monthly and your investment time span is 10 years. With the estimate rate of return be 9%, which is what the stock market has returned on an average for a long period of time. So, if you were to save $2,000 monthly, you would have $390,000 after 10 years. Let's increase this amount to $5,000 monthly. That brings us to a future balance of $975,000, almost $1 million if you were to save $5,000 monthly consistently over the next 10 years. And here's where I want to show you the magic of compound interest. Do you see these green lines? These green lines is all the returns that you have. The blue stuff is the principal that you put in annually. But the more time that goes, the green, which is the return, keeps getting bigger and the blue is smaller. $5,000 invested over 20 years consistently every month makes you a multi-millionaire. You will be left with a net worth of $3.3 million. It could be a little bit more because I am taking the average rate of return. The stock markets have returned more than this. Some years are down, some years are up. So this still gives you a good picture, a good guideline of what you can do if you were to invest money as soon as you can and for as long a time as possible. I'll leave the link to this compound interest calculator in the description bar below. Play with your own numbers and see where your goals can take you. In theory, the faster you want to reach FI, financial independence, the more you have to do two things: increase your income and decrease your expenses. It is kind of more powerful to decrease your expenses because in order to spend $2,000, you have to earn about $3,000 to $4,000 depending on your tax bracket. So it is a good idea to decrease your expenses, but also keep working on increasing that income. Take all of the excess and invest it consistently. Stay the course in the market and let that money grow. Attack the largest culprits first: housing, transportation, and food. These are probably the biggest expenses that you have today, and find inefficiencies in your spendings. Make a spreadsheet, look at every single dollar that is going out of your pocket and try to understand what you can cut back. The point of this information is not to overwhelm you, but you can shoot for the stars. Maybe have a goal of saving $10,000 per month, investing it, see how quickly you reach your financial independence goals. With this plan out of the way, let's focus on the baby steps. That way you can organize your finances and be rolling on the journey as soon as possible. Step 1, have an emergency fund. 8 out of 10 Americans live paycheck to paycheck. And in a survey, a whopping 40% said that they could not come up with $400 if there was an emergency in their house. So create an emergency fund. Start with stashing away at least $1,000 only for emergencies. This is not for travel. This is not for discretionary expenses. This is not for shopping. Only true emergencies. If your car breaks down, if your basement gets flooded, if your water heater breaks down, this is only for those situations. Step number 2, get out of debt. Debt is crippling. It is the reverse of compound interest in your favor. It is in the interest of the companies that are providing you with these debts. So whatever method you feel the best, you can start with the smallest amount of debt first. So that way you'll get motivated and it'll create a snowball effect and you can tackle bigger debts. Or start with the one that is burning the biggest hole in your pocket, which has the highest interest. Whatever motivates you more and suits your psychology and lifestyle. Get out of that debt. Home mortgage can be excluded from this first step. We'll talk about it in just a minute. Step 3. Build up your emergency fund. Once you have all your debts cleared, start building an emergency fund. Maybe about 3 to 6 months worth of your expenses, somewhere accessible. I like to stash them away in index funds because I find them straightforward to liquidate, but if it gives you more peace of mind, by all means keep this in cash. A big use of this emergency fund would be, say, if you lost your job, you wouldn't be scrambling to make ends meet while you're looking for a new job, and you won't make bad decisions based on what company would hire you or what type of work you want to do. If you have that much of a cushion, you give yourself the time to find that perfect next spot. Step 4. Level up those investments. Somewhere along these steps, I hope now you have started increasing your income, and all the excess money should be consistently invested. Max out your 401ks, especially if your company is matching. You can also consider investing in HSAs, the health saving accounts, which are triple tax advantaged. This is the step where you start building your wealth. Step number 5. Save for your children's college education. I personally use a 529A account with the state of New Jersey as they give me some flexible investing options, but you can choose any vehicle for saving for college admissions. I've even heard people say that they buy a piece of real estate and take a 15-year mortgage on it, rent it out, and the rental income pays for that house. 15 years later, they have this house free and clear and they can sell it for paying for their child's education. Knowing that education is a ridiculous expense in America, I am of the camp that I want to spend as little as possible on college education. It's almost a commodity or a product these days. So there are many ways out. You could look into trade schools, you could look into community college and transferring credits to another larger university, or skipping school completely. This is an exercise that you should do at least after your kids are 10, 12 years of age. Try to understand what their interests are and have them speak to professionals in different streams of life so they can also get an idea of what work and job life feels like. Whether they want to be entrepreneurs or whether they want to be rocket scientists, it would be up to them. But start doing this homework with them while they are young. Step number 6. You can start making extra payments to pay off that house early. With the kind of low interest rates in America, it almost feels like free money. Because the interest rates for house mortgages are so low, it is totally okay to stay on that mortgage and invest your money elsewhere. But if being debt-free and owning your house free and clear gives you motivation to make those financial strides, by all means go for it. An amazing tip that I learned was that you can start paying your house mortgage bi-weekly. That will make you pay one extra payment in the year and you won't even feel anything about it. Last step. After you've done building your wealth, protect your wealth. By this point, hopefully, you have entered into the world of good financial hygiene and you're not scrambling for the last dollar. Be patient with investments and let compounding do its magic. Learn to ride the market waves and not just sell when everything crashes. Think about it like a garage sale. When the markets go down, you buy more investments and let them grow. Know that the stock markets have always recovered. Since the 1920s, there have been ups and downs, but the overall graph has always been on an upward trajectory. This is also a great time about thinking of protecting your wealth. Create an estate plan if you haven't already, especially if you have children or heirs. The last thing you want for your family, if you die unexpectedly, is for them to be fighting in a court while grieving for your loss. Make sure you also have term life insurance. Buy it so that your youngest is covered till they are 18 years of age. Oh, and use a password manager. Yes, I know it sounds very basic, but many people are still using weak passwords. Especially for your financial institutions, you want to use extremely complicated passwords that you don't have to remember. The password manager will do it for you. I use 1Password and it's worth every penny. If you found this video useful, consider subscribing to my channel and like this video so YouTube shows this to more people. If you'd like to learn about how I personally achieved financial independence, I'd be happy to make a video about it. Just let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.